Why is Pedro Pascal getting hate for playing Mr. Fantastic?
Okay, yeah, I agree. He's in everything. Like, what is there? Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Gladiator, Last of Us, Game of Thrones, Kingsman, The Wild Robot, and even Bloody Apple. But look, if he was bad in everything and was basically the same character in everything like The Rock is, then I would be frustrated seeing him in everything.
The official MCU Fantastic Four cast was just revealed along with the release date for the movie, and there are some fans who do not like the idea of Pedro Pascal playing Reed Richards. Some people are saying he's too old. Some people saying that he's in too many projects.
In a leaked moment that's already going viral, the Fantastic Four star reportedly dropped a bombshell during a private Marvel event. According to multiple insiders, Pedro didn't hold back, allegedly saying it's time for Marvel to retire its traditional male superheroes. We're talking about legends like Thor, Iron Man, and Wolverine, characters he reportedly described as outdated, toxic, and no longer welcome in the new direction of the MCU. The backlash? Immediate. Fans are split, with some calling it bold progress and others saying it's a complete betrayal of what made Marvel iconic in the first place.
Robert Downey Jr.
Huh?
Robert Downey Jr., you talked to him lately?
He texted me today.
Oh, what'd he say?
He sent me a selfie.
Ah, that's it? Was he wearing a Dr. Doom mask?
I need to look again.
That one statement? It's unleashed a tidal wave of outrage. Within hours, furious fans were all over social media. Hashtags trending, threads exploding, and comment sections on fire. Some are even calling for Marvel to cut ties with Pedro Pascal entirely, accusing him of disrespecting the very heroes that built the franchise. From diehard comic book loyalists to casual moviegoers, the reaction has been loud, passionate, and impossible to ignore.
Favreau himself confirmed that RDJ did in fact audition for Victor Von Doom in that Fantastic Four film.
There were, and I remember that Robert had come in for a general on it, and I remember you had all met with him already for like Doctor Doom or something on another project. I think I think he had come through on a maybe Fantastic Four.
Now, even though Kevin Feige in that clip did seem pretty unsure about this claim, I think it's not only crazy that we could have potentially got Iron Man and Captain America in the Fantastic Four before the MCU even started.
And now, new details are starting to surface, including what Pedro Pascal allegedly said about masculinity, gender roles, and the future of superhero films. And it's becoming clear, this wasn't some off-the-cuff remark or a heat-of-the-moment rant. No, this might be the biggest PR meltdown Marvel's faced since the infamous Brie Larson controversy. Insiders are already comparing the fallout, warning that if Marvel doesn't get ahead of this fast, it could spiral into another full-blown fandom war.
Pedro Pascal is in talks to play Reed Richards in the MCU's Fantastic Four. While we don't know who the rest of the cast is yet, this news from Deadline also reveals that they're not going for a younger Fantastic Four like some fans theorized. Pedro is 48 years old now, so will this be an origin story or take place after they've already gotten their powers? The only thing we know is that director Matt Shakman says that he's taking inspiration from his experience directing episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He said, "Those guys bring a unique combination of playfulness and precision, and I think you have to have both of those things in everything you make." How do you feel about the casting? And if Mr. Fantastic ends up being played by Pedro, who do you think will work well with Pedro? Let us know.
Pedro Pascal just ignited a firestorm online. A leaked moment from a private Marvel event in Los Angeles has triggered massive backlash, and fans aren't holding back. The Fantastic Four star allegedly told a room of Marvel insiders that it's time to move on from traditional male superheroes, calling icons like Thor, Iron Man, and Wolverine outdated, toxic, and no longer fit for the new MCU. That single statement sparked an instant wave of outrage. Fans flooded social media with demands to cut ties with Pascal completely. And as more details leaked, including remarks about masculinity, gender roles, and the future of superhero films, it became clear this wasn't a one-off rant. This could be Marvel's biggest PR crisis since the Brie Larson controversy. It all started during a supposedly low-key, invite-only industry panel at an exclusive Marvel promotional event. According to multiple insiders who were in the room, Pascal didn't use his time to hype up his new role as Reed Richards. Instead, he delivered a monologue that caught even the most progressive executives off guard. He's now being dragged online, not for his acting, but for the politics. Julia Garner's casting as Silver Surfer only added fuel to the fire. The film's not even out yet, and the internet is already melting down. Pascal, set to play Reed Richards, is facing backlash not over casting or age, but ideology. Critics resurfaced his past political comments, including his criticism of Trump and defense of trans rights. Some corners of the internet quickly labeled him too woke, claiming Marvel is pushing an agenda and calling for a boycott. When it was confirmed Julia Garner would play Silver Surfer, fans erupted again. Some were upset that Norrin Radd wasn't the one being introduced, arguing that gender-swapping the character betrayed their childhoods. But Garner's version, Shallowball, has deep comic roots, and the backlash revealed more about discomfort with change than any actual plot details. Then came the real shock. Witnesses claim Pascal said, "We've had decades of brooding, emotionally stunted alpha males. It's boring. It's toxic. It's over." That line alone stunned the room. But he kept going, reportedly calling for a 10-year MCU reset focused solely on female and LGBTQ+ heroes to counterbalance past narratives. According to one insider, he added, "It's time to phase out the power fantasy men think they're entitled to. We need stories that heal, not dominate." The response was instant. Reddit threads exploded. Fans fumed. Critics argued. Some cheered. But the divide had already formed. Silver Surfer fans argued that Norrin Radd still exists in canon, and that Shallowball, introduced in 1968, was part of the comic legacy. But for many, the controversy wasn't about characters. It was about what those characters represented. Pascal, willingly or not, had turned fandom discourse into a cultural war. And then came the most explosive moment of all. He allegedly called Thor a caveman with a hammer, Iron Man a billionaire narcissist fantasy for Reddit bros, and Wolverine a walking trauma response with sideburns. The room fell silent. Some clapped. Most were stunned. One executive later said, "It felt more like a TED Talk on gender politics than a Marvel event." The fallout was immediate. Memes flooded social media, mocking Pascal as woke Richards and showing legacy heroes being replaced with pastel-colored substitutes. Hashtags like #FirePedro and #GoWokeGoBroke trended. Fans tagged Marvel Studios, Disney, and Kevin Feige directly. One viral post read, "Pedro Pascal just spit in the face of every fan who grew up loving Marvel. Fire him or lose us." Another simply stated, "We didn't sign up for this gender politics nonsense. We signed up for heroes." Even Marvel's own community turned. Fan accounts that normally stayed neutral began speaking up. YouTube creators released reactions by the hour. Some warned that the MCU had officially jumped the shark. A supposed quote from Pascal added more fuel. "The age of the straight white savior is over. The age of balance begins now." Whether true or not, the damage was done. Supporters praised Pascal's boldness. But they were quickly overwhelmed by backlash. Culture commentators warned that he may have misjudged the very audience Marvel depends on. And the silence from Marvel Studios? Deafening. Insiders claimed Kevin Feige was caught completely off guard. What was meant to be a teaser for Fantastic Four had turned into a cultural war. One executive reportedly said backstage, "We gave him Reed Richards, not a soapbox." Behind the scenes, rumors swirled of casting shakeups and emergency meetings. Some claimed alternate Reed Richards options were quietly being floated. John Krasinski and Joseph Quinn began trending as fan favorites. The chaos wasn't just about one actor. Marvel had already been facing pressure from underwhelming releases like The Marvels and Eternals. Julia Garner's casting had already fractured the fandom. Now, the studio's new leading man had just poured gasoline on an already smoldering fire. And then came the subtle jabs from Marvel stars. Chris Hemsworth posted a photo of himself wielding Mjolnir with the caption, "Still standing. Still worthy." Jeremy Renner followed with, "Some of us built this with blood and broken bones. Don't rewrite history just because you walked in late." Robert Downey Jr., when asked about superhero films, said, "There's still room for stories about redemption, strength, and sacrifice. No matter what the cultural weather is." Meanwhile, Pascal broke his silence, but not with an apology. He posted an image of a female Silver Surfer standing over a crushed Iron Man helmet. The caption? "The future is fam." Minutes later, he reposted a fan edit of an all-female Avengers team. Caption: balance. To critics, it was confirmation of everything they feared. To supporters, it was a rallying cry. But one thing was now undeniable. This was no longer a PR blunder, it was a mission. And Marvel? Caught in the crossfire. Fans are now asking, is this really the future of the MCU? Where legacy heroes are discarded, masculinity is viewed as a threat, and ideological agendas replace storytelling. Some are unsubscribing. Others are holding out hope. But even that hope is beginning to fade. Because this isn't just a Pedro Pascal moment. This is a Marvel moment. A defining one. And the fire it lit? It's only just begun. Pedro Pascal may have lit the match. But the explosion is now engulfing the entire Marvel universe. Whether you see him as a bold visionary or the face of a misguided cultural shift, one thing is certain. The fandom is divided like never before. And as Marvel prepares to launch its next cinematic phase with Pedro Pascal front and center, the studio now faces a defining choice. Stay the course and risk alienating millions. Or attempt to rebuild the bridge they may have just burned. Whatever comes next, fans won't forget this moment. The spark has been lit. And the fire, whether it builds something new or burns everything down, is only just beginning.
So, what do you think?
Is Marvel evolving or losing its way? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. And if you want to stay up to date with every twist in this unfolding saga, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Because this is far from over.